Okay, I want to talk to you on a subject matter called how to deal with the systems of the world. For us as middle class people, man, we got to consider that if we want to be successful, if we want to build a life for ourselves, we build a life through systems of the world. This is what I mean. There is a financial system. There's a pharmaceutical system. There's a system for our food and resources. There's a justice system. All of these systems are intertwined, working around us all the time. And we have to find the best ways to use the system at certain times and points in your life, right? So when you're trying to deal with the systems of the world, you got to know how do middle class people need to use the system, based upon the level that we're on, right? So there's four ways that I found out about how to use the system, and many of these usages are right in front of our face. Now, they always highlighted by people who are more affluent than us. You can think about the recent Puff Daddy case. You look at his situation, he's dealing with the system differently than somebody who didn't have the resources and connections that he have, so, and that's the justice system. But so there's four ways that people use the system. There's four things that they do that I've noticed. The first thing is people choose to opt out of the system. They choose to opt out. They choose not to play. These are your nomadic people. Your minimalist people, or even your off the grid type people. They choose to opt out. I want to do it on my own. I don't want to play. Kind of thing. And there's a time to opt out of the system. There's a time to do that, but that's not always smart all the time, because you lose connectivity. You tend to become outdated with the times that you're actually living in, right? And number two, people choose in many cases to abuse the system. They choose to abuse. And this is a big one when it comes to working class people like you and I, because we have found a way in many times to abuse the system and to build generations off of abusing the system. I mean, you take subjects like Section 8, you take subjects like EBT, food stamps, it's people who don't even need the program.